find me and I'm in the right format. My name is Rima Bechara, and I am the owner of this channel. Thank you so much for joining. Today we're going to be doing trying a new product called Copycat, and it's an image transfer, a potion, it said. So I'm just painting this on. It's going to need another coat. I can't see if anyone is on yet, but if you've just joined, this is third time lucky. I'm doing this, by the way, this image transfer on a piece of wood. It's nothing fancy, and hopefully it will work just like I watched it work in the video. And I'm starting off by painting it with white chalk paint. Okay, thank you, Betty. And if you could share me out if you're watching, that would be great. I'm just painting this with a Waverly Plaster color. And I'm going to dry it and give it a second coat. And then hopefully it's going to work. Something needs to work today, doesn't it? So the image we're transferring, and I'll talk to you about this when I'm whilst I'm drying, is one of these two images. I did cut out the two images. They are from the Graphics Fairy. And if you plan on doing this copycat or using this copycat solution or potion, you need to make sure that you are using an inkjet painted image. So not laser, but inkjet. I'm going to give it another coat and dry that, and the true test will be how it works. So again, this is Waverly chalk paint, and from what I understand, it has to be done with chalk paint, matte. And I'm getting some yuckies on here. I can always do the sides give the sides a second coat. So I'm just going to dry it. Then we're just going to very quickly sand it a little bit because the surface is a bit rough. And you can use just a light sandpaper. And this tends to dry rather quickly. And I can't see what you're seeing. I'm not sure who's watching. I can't see comments, obviously. I said because for some reason, once I'm in there, So I'm just sanding this slightly just to knock the edge off. And I'm going to wipe it down with a piece of paper towel. And if you didn't want to see brush marks, you could use a pouncer or a dauber or one of these makeup sponges. And as I said earlier, we're using this Copy Image Transfer Potion by Amy Howard. And it needs to be applied on. Let me pour some in a small container. So I don't mess up or contaminate my products. I'm going to apply this in a smooth, even coat, liberally. Don't skimp. And I know where I'm going to put it in the center, but I'm just doing this. You don't have to apply to the whole thing, but I am. I'm not sure what would happen. Make sure this does not dry, so I may have to top coat it again. And as I said earlier, I'm using an inkjet. I used an inkjet printer, and this image is from the Graphics Fairy. It's free. And I'm going to do the same thing with this image. I'm going to apply this on liberally. And I might actually just add a little bit more right in the center. And it should be a smooth, even coat. So let's see how we do this. Oops. Guess what? First big mistake. I'm doing the wrong side. I did the wrong side. Mistake number one. I told you I make a lot of mistakes. I don't know if it's going to make any difference, but we will find out. I can't believe I put it on the wrong side. This is the correct side you are supposed to put this on. And I'm again applying it liberally, and it's a bit harder to manage this, but mistake number one. I did this on purpose. No, I didn't. Okay, and again, I'm going to apply just in case it dried out whilst I was drying my rabbit. I'm going to apply this on. Make sure it's down. I'm using my fingers to push it down. I'm also going to use, see, I've got a little wrinkle here. want to make sure it's really down. I'm going to just check, but you can see the wrinkle here. Now, the not so great part about this is that you do have to leave it to dry. And I did one earlier this morning, and I left it to dry, but I also made a few boo-boos in there, which I will show you. And you may just have to practice, just like anything else in life. So this is what I have, a wrinkle in here. I'm going to attempt to keep pushing it down. Whenever there's a wrinkle, it will not transfer. You can use a roller to push it down. You can use one of these, where are the sticks? One of these sticks to push it down. Or you can use one of these, and I would put some sort of protection on here to make sure that you don't scratch the surface. And we're going to leave this to dry. Now with this one, I'm going to tell you first about the mistakes I made. And I did this one without reading instructions. So you can see I have a lot of wrinkles. Where those wrinkles are, I am not going to get a good transfer. So I've left this to dry for maybe 2 hours. And now I'm going to start gently applying this and spritzing with water, but I don't know if my spritzer is around. And what you need to do is find just a rag and bunch it up like this. That was my first mistake, was the wrinkles. My second mistake is that I applied the image correctly, but what I did do rather, was I covered this with a copycat. So I'm not sure if that's going to impact anything, but try and do this in a circular motion. And I think I might have to load it a little bit more with more water. Spritz it. And I'm going to start here. It's supposed to start peeling through. I know that there are other products that you can use to do this, but hopefully the fact that I put on the copycat on the reverse, on both sides actually, and I can see a little bit of a reveal here. So let's just keep going. And I'm probably going to flood this with water. And I'm doing it rather gently. I'm not pushing anything. I'm not... I don't know if this is going to get any better. This might be a bust video. And we might name it How Not To. I just want to see if I do it with my fingers, but you're supposed to do it with a rag, so. The fact that I put on the solution on top, because I did not read my notes, might impact our transfer. But then again, we're going to get the same problem with the second one. Hold on, let's see. Oh, well, some of it is coming off and I can see something here. So let's continue. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this, but... And I'm going to try not to go over the same area as much. So I don't understand why some areas are working and some are not. But all I can say is that for sure, the fact that I covered this with the solution or the potion is definitely giving me a harder time. But here you can see there is some transfer. Let's see. Here. I'm too afraid to try. But this should start peeling or coming off. So let's just continue. You know, I don't think I can do a live without messing up. Now you could probably see the outline of the project. So first lesson is don't do what I did. Do not apply this to the top. I'm going to try rubbing with my fingers, seeing if it makes a difference. But I'm not giving up. Just keep rubbing. Circular motion, although I tend to get bored with circular. Let's see. Well, the transfer is definitely going through, but I think the fact that I goofed because I put the solution of the on top, that's not helping me. But I wonder why some areas are actually going in and some are not. You can see the transfer is working. It's just operator error. It is working, look. Can you see right here? So definitely operator error. Let's see here. Normally this would not take that long. See how it's coming off here? Or it shouldn't take that long, rather. So maybe if I'm just patient because of my error, this would work. But at least we know the transfer is going through. And I'm trying not to put too much water or scrub. I don't want to remove areas that are fine. And I'm making it so much, I made it so much harder on myself by not reading, or checking rather. It's so, but you can see right here, a foot. So let's just keep going. I wonder if there's any way I can remove this solution, but it seems to be quite stuck, quite. I hope I'm not removing the actual bunny, because that's what's underneath. or her clothes, but with some patience, I might be able to fix it. So I guess worst case scenario is that I'm showing you, if you goof up like I did, how to fix it. It is a process. And I'm just using this rag is just a piece of clothing that I cut up. But this seems to be, oops, I messed up. Move my camera. Okay, let me see. My camera, move it up. Okay, thanks, Miriam. Is that better? Just send me a text because I can't check messages right now. I'm just removing a top layer here. This is not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to just come out. Some of the print is coming out as well, but okay, thanks. This is the top layer, this is not the bottom layer, because this paper has more than one layer. It's just copy paper. But at least we're seeing a little bit better. So if you do what I did, don't give up, persevere. Let's see here. And it's all because I put the potion on the top layer. You can see it peeling. I'm just going to gently move my let me leave this here and continue with this, but this is just plain copy paper. And what I'm doing now, and the little bits and pieces that are coming out, that's how it should come out if I had done it the right way. But Rima can never do things the right way, can she? Now this one, because I'm going directly over the edges, I think all things considered, I love this product. I think that it is great. You don't have to keep trying and trying. I remember I did this in a class I took at the Museum of Fine Arts. And I used one of the mediums. I can't remember which one it was. But it did not give me the results that this has. And you know, I'm very open and upfront with you guys on everything I use and if I like it or if I don't. So you can see right now how this is turning out. Let me add some more water. I goofed here and on all the edges, I guess. But at least see, I removed too much here, so it's taken away some of the color. And the top layer feels like it's plasticky because I put the potion on it. And I think with the second one, it's going to be the same problem because by accident, I put a product on the wrong side. And considering I had wrinkles, I think this is pretty good. Let me just dry it a little bit because it is incredibly wet. And then let's see how much is left to take off. But I'm absolutely thrilled with this. Let's dry it and see. And I had it might take a little bit longer to dry, but I just want to be able to see there's a piece missing here. So it's showing me the areas that still have more paper. So I'm going to go lightly over them. Oh, I just messed this area up. Okay, and we'll wet it again. But overall, I love it. Even with the mistakes, I had to dry down here. Even with the mistakes that I made. Now, another mistake I'll tell you I did is that I should have left the edges. I should have torn them so that they're not a straight edge. So you can blend it in easier. And I'm going to go over it again and go much lighter. Okay, let's try. I'm dipping it again in some water. There's my water. I forgot to show you this. And now very gently, I'm going to turn it so that I don't get I'm going to do one section at a time. And it is removing paper, but I think it's also removing some of the print. But I am going very gently. Let's see how I did with this side. And whilst I'm heating it up, I'm just still removing the excess pieces. And I guess this is the best way to check how much paper is left. This is how it was supposed to turn out the first time, without the paper. And I took off too much here, but that's me. And I know I need more practice. I know this side needs doing. Now, if you're doing words, remember that you will have to turn the words the right way around because they will come out incorrectly. Just doing it very lightly. I'm going to dry it and leave the rest of the paper that I haven't been able to remove and see what happens if I seal it without having removed all the paper. Just to see what happens. Because obviously when you're doing this, you don't want to you want to make sure that you're not removing all the paper. And I noticed when I apply water, the image brightens up. So let me see how far we have to go if we put a matte sealer on. But first, I just want to make sure it's really dry. And it's probably dry on the surface, but not on inside the wood. And this is just a piece of wood I found in my stash. So once I remove all of these bits and pieces from here, I think I have a matte sealer here that I'm going to apply and then see. Some of it is still coming off. So this is kind of a tutorial on maybe how to use this, what to do if things go wrong, which if anyone who has a product and wants me to try it, I can guarantee I'll be doing it wrong. But at least I'll hang around to make sure that I get rid of the problem. Just wanted to hear because I see the paper quite heavy. And paper is still coming off. And you can even see the grain of the paper here. And when I said it was wrinkly, what I should have said, and what it turns out it is, it's not the wrinkles, it's the grain of the wood. Sorry if I said paper. I wasn't thinking too clearly. I'm looking for my sander just to do the edges. So let's see. I know I have paper left, especially on the edges. So what I'm going to do is use my matte sealer to see if I can bring out and I'm going to try and dry it now. I'm just trying a little bit. Here I know that I goofed and I took out too much. But as I said, this is a practice. And you should always practice. I'm going to just wanted to get and let's dry it and see if it darkens again, or if it becomes less clear. So that in these kind of situations, if you feel you've overdone it, you can just leave the balance and see what's left. I know here I have a lot, but in areas where you don't have a lot, and the color's not changing and it feels quite smooth. Let's try it on here. On here there is a lot of paper left and I can see it. But I just want to... Okay, so where there's a lot of paper left, like here, it's not changing. You can still see the paper underneath. And here, where the legs are, you can still see it underneath. So if you have just a small layer left, and I'm going to finish this off, just so that you can see and dry it. See, this is a big chunk of paper here. There's a big chunk of paper here. So the sealer is not covering the bigger chunks of paper. Let me dry that. And you can see it coming back right here. And anywhere where there's a lot of paper left, like here. But this is a product I definitely recommend. That despite my goof up, it still came out this good. Now, under normal circumstances, I think I would have removed a little bit more here. But it looks very hand-drawn. Worst case scenario, what you can do is add your own color to it. I'm just drying here as well. I think I might do this on a box next, but I will make notes on making sure I don't put the product or the potion where it does not belong. So, just to recap, do not use this on the top. And I have to wait for this one to dry a little bit more. And then you'll have an easier time getting rid of the paper. And when you have just a little bit of paper left, if you seal over it, and I'm talking about the smallest amount, this is a lot, and this is a lot. And around the feet, the pants under with the shoes is a lot. So get it thinner than that, and if you apply the matte varnish, then it will work. This shows you that I messed up because I took too much of the print. So lesson number 1, paint with chalk paint, matte chalk paint. Apply a coat of your Amy Howard Copycat potion. Get your image, apply a coat on the bright side of your image, turn it over, smooth it as best as you can, use your fingers, use tongue depressors, use one of these, or a roller, just use anything and get it down and leave it to dry for at least 2 hours, up to overnight. And then start dabbing with water. And do not put a top coat on this. Do not put this on top of the back of your image. Using a wet rag, go in circular motion and dry it. Remove all the extra paper. And I know this is not perfect, but very honestly, considering my goof up, I think I'm very happy with my first try. I hope you enjoyed this. I will be back tomorrow for another live. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow, but I will see you then. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye.